Hi there, it's Carl Irwin, the Common Magician, and I've got something interesting to share with you. If you were here, I would have you think of something, maybe a word or a number, a place, anything that maybe comes to mind. And since you're not here, we'll just use some dice. I'll roll the dice, and we'll see what we get. It looks like 5-1. The number is 51. And I just have to ask, is there any reason why you would think of 51? Any reason at all? No reason, just came to you. Now, I just have to say, earlier when I was coming here, I had this kind of idea in my mind that this might happen, and I would come across somebody and ask them this question, and I just quickly jotted something down and put it into my wallet here. It's a little piece of paper, and inside the paper, like I said, I was in a hurry, so I just kind of scrawled this out. I don't know if you can read that. I don't know if you can read that. See what it says? 51. 5-1. What are the odds? So I want to talk about a treatment of a particular kind of method that's the universal out. We've talked about it before, but I want to talk about a couple of ideas that I had regarding this method. But before I do that, I want to show you another kind of variation on it. Here I've got, it's a totally different wallet, and it's the same kind of presentation. You ask the same question, and the idea is that they give you an answer. You ask, is there any reason why you would have thought about that? They can answer that any way they want. But what I can do is I can show you inside of my wallet, I've got a piece of paper. And if you see the piece of paper in here, I wrote down on my way here earlier, I just kind of scrawled this out really quickly. I just had this idea that I might ask a question, that an answer might be given. I don't know if this, means anything to you, but you can take a look and you can see it says 51. So anyway, these are a couple treatments on the idea of nail writing, okay, of some kind. I actually use a Vernet thumb writer is what I use. And I'm not going to look at the item itself. That's not really what this is about, because there's a variety of different kinds of devices you can use to accomplish this. I prefer that one for myself, just in terms of the security of getting it on and the ability to conceal it in the open through various kinds of presentations. I'm concerned about the other side of it. I'm actually more concerned about the presentation of the prediction itself rather than the item itself. And this is what I've come up with. It occurred to me that I could carry around like a pad of paper and just do, show the first page of it or something and show it. And that would be something extra I could carry in a back pocket. But then I got to thinking, well, I could actually do this in a wallet, an actual wallet. And then I got to thinking, well, I could actually have a small wallet that's really dedicated just to this. And it got me thinking about ways in which this could be accomplished. Now, first off, you could literally just take a Post-it note, stick it inside of any wallet, a bifold or a trifold, just stick it in there, pre-fold it, and you actually have the ability to do what we're talking about. But in the interest of having kind of a system, you could dedicate a very thin wallet to having some Post-it notes in there. And this method, I just take the first top Post-it note, I fold it up and then over, and then with this type of wallet, which is a wallet I just happen to have, that's pre-folded, I just set it in here like this with the top note pre-folded sitting out. So what I can do is I can open it up, I can do what I need to do, and then I can ditch the item, the writer, and then from behind I can just fold over, fold down, and then I can take it out as if I'm removing it from a billfold, right? And I thought this was really, good. At least it justifies me holding it open like this. It's something inside. They don't see, what's going on back here. But it's not a pad of paper. It's a wallet with a note in it, and the note presents as being folded up, which I think is very, very powerful in terms of writing ahead. So this removes the idea of predicting something with a pencil, putting the pencil down on a piece of paper, having, that kind of necessity that the pencil is out of view and then showing it after the fact on the paper. It just removes that entirely. And it's more kind of like a pocket writing sort of routine, like what you would see, Banachek do, something like that, but with the pocket writing kind of method. This is done with the nail writer method. So this was just an idea. That's the first presentation. So just having a pre-folded post-it note, it's sticky, it sticks to something. I have more post-it notes in here. They're cut to size for this kind of wallet. And I can just carry this one thing around as my wallet. And I do the presentation, you do the thing, you ask the question, any reason you thought of that. It gives me time and misdirection because they're thinking about an answer while I do it. Ditch the item, and then I can just fold down and then remove it, and here it is. So that's one. This one's a little bit more kind of on the nose, a little more deceptive in terms of the presentation. I'm not sure it's necessary, but the idea here is that you could have a wallet like this. This is a magic wallet, not a magic wallet like for magic, but they call these magic wallets. It's kind of, they might call them a Jacob's Ladder wallet. Because it's made out of the premise behind the Jacob's Ladder toy, where you turn it over and it flips down. The wallet can be opened this way, or it can be opened the other way, and the bands switch sides, kind of like an X in between, right? Now, they make these so that they look like this, with elastic bands, an X, and then kind of two bands this way. However, they also make them so that they're like a nice leather band and then a thick leather band in the middle, which is a little more deceptive and accomplishes what I want to show you. In this case, if we have it like this, what I did is I took a dollar bill and I just folded the bill over so that it would sit inside between these two bands. And then I have a piece of paper. I've got spare billets over here behind a used up gift card just as a cover to keep the billets kind of saved in there. So this is a self-contained setup that I can, just use only for this. I take the billet and I set it in the kind of two-strap side with the bill folded just big enough to fit into the space. And the idea is that I could open this, and from my point of view, the bill folds open and I can write here. Then when I close it and reopen, the bill gets trapped surrounding the billet and covering that writing. So I can show this in the open and then slide it out and present the prediction very cleanly. And it's like it's really entrapped inside the wallet. But anyway, that's an idea. I think I've presented something like this before. This is a little bit more organic, I think, than what I showed you before with like a pre-made envelope that has a flap that opens up. Anyway, just a couple of ideas for your nail writing to eliminate the need for a pencil, a prediction on a pad. Just a more organic thing. I have a prediction. It's in a wallet. It's concealed. You ask the question, any reason you thought of that? It gives you the moment to do the business with it open, and then you can just present it one way or the other. There's a lot of other ideas for this, but these were just kind of the more organic way that I thought to do it. These kinds of wallets are actually somewhat popular. People carry these around. You can find them very cheaply for $5 or $50, depending on the type. This is kind of on the cheaper side and certainly good enough for this. That gives you the ability to contain a flap that's not hidden. It's in the open. It's actually out there. There's nothing secretive about the wallet at all. It's just the way the wallet actually works that allows you to create something that looks contained. And then, of course, this other idea where you're just carrying around a pad of paper, just concealed in a very minimalist kind of bifold wallet. From there, you can have your paper preset, always have one loaded, ready to go. Open it up. Do your writing, ask the question, ditch the thing if you want to. You can just palm it right off right there. And then you just fold down in the pre-fold, present that folded piece of paper. Very, very clean presentation of what looks like an impossible prediction ahead. One thing about pocket writing and about thumb writing is the premise. I was thinking about possibly this moment earlier, and I just kind of quickly jotted something down. I'm not sure you can even read it. This sort of Banachek presentation I really like because it covers the problem of having sloppy writing, right? And also the way he presents it in his writings. And I also recommend, if you're going to learn about pocket writing in Banachek's way, I recommend his Penguin Live lecture over his, he has a product that's just about pocket writing. I think it's just a better buy because for about the same amount of money, you get a whole bunch more magic from him. But he covers in depth his pocket writing idea. But he talks about this, and the premise there allows you to give an incomplete answer. So if you ask someone to think of a word or a place, you could actually jot an abbreviation that is incomplete, and it's still just as hard hitting because there's no reason why you should have gotten even that close. But that's just a way, I think, to deal with the thumb writing, the nail writing that you're doing on the spot from a wallet. It allows you to jot quickly and still get an absolute hit on it, just giving that sort of premise. I wrote this down quickly. I'm not sure it even makes sense. It didn't make sense to me at the time, but maybe it makes sense to you. And then you can present it in that way. Anyway, just a few ideas about nail writing from a wallet. Very clean, eliminates the need for a pencil and that kind of nail writing presentation. Just some ideas I'm sharing with you. Best of luck with this and happy magicking.